Is deciding difficult for you? Even irrelevant decisions like what to wear every day make you feel stressed? Do you prefer to delay or have someone else decide for you? You are not alone here. Decisions are an important part of life, and your future success has a direct correlation on the quality of the decisions you make. Never delay a decision. Delaying a decision is never a good idea. It allows anxiety to build and it drains vital energy from your being. The more anxious you are while deciding, the less objective your decision will be. Another powerful reason not to delay a decision is that everything in life, absolutely everything, has an expiration date. And pay attention to this. Even if you ended up making the perfect decision, a little too late may be worse than making a wrong decision in a better timing. Let's say you are hunting for a house, one of the most critical decisions you will make in your life, and probably the biggest purchase you will ever make. Therefore, there is a lot of pressure to make the best decision possible. So far, you have narrowed down your decision to 2 properties. They both are great pricing. One has just the location you were looking for, and the other one has just the layout you always dreamed of. It is a very tough decision to make. You try to visualize you and your family enjoying the location of the first house. Everything is close by. Your work, your kids' school, all your needs are within a 10-minute distance. But the house is somewhat smaller than the place you already live in. The second house is about a 50-minute drive from everything you need. But it is in such a beautiful neighborhood, and the house itself feels like it was designed for your family needs. It has a huge backyard, perfect for the treehouse your kids beg you to build. A pool you definitely see yourself enjoying during the summer months. And there you are, not knowing what decision to make. Every day, you think about the pros and cons of each house. And after many days of family discussions, everyone has made a consensus to buy the smaller house in the great location. When you call your real estate agent, you find out that both houses have been sold already, and at the same time, interest rates are being raised, leaving you with no house and a smaller budget because of the higher interest rates. Sometimes it is better to make a reasonable decision quickly than aiming to make the perfect decision a little too late. Reduce your number of decisions. Research shows that making big or small decisions drains a lot of mental energy. This is why very successful people like Steve Jobs, Albert Einstein, or Mark Zuckerberg decided to wear the same outfit every day. C. A CEO from a very important company has to make lots of very important decisions every day. If he or she have to worry about what to wear or what to have for breakfast, they will be left with little energy by the time they need to decide what markets should the company explore or what business streams should the company give up on. Think about all the decisions you make in a day, and try to get rid of those that have no actual effect on your well-being, and just leave room for those decisions that have a significant impact in your life. Only evaluate 1/3 of your options. Do you find yourself stuck in reviewing all the possible information you can? Making sure you review 100% of all the options available? You need to know that statistics say that as long as you make sure there is enough variety in the sample you're looking at, you will most likely not find something better after having reviewed 1/3 of the available options. Let's say you are a talent acquisition specialist at a very recognized company, and suddenly you're told there is a very critical position you need to fill in within a very short deadline. You know your company's high standard, so after the internal and external job postings are closed, you want to make sure you make the best selection. When you review the amount of postings, you cannot believe that over 500 people applied to the position. You are told that at the end of the day, you need to advise the 5 best candidates to be called for the interview. You feel overwhelmed and you are not sure you can go over 500 CVs in a single afternoon. In this case, if you applied the the 1/3 principle by making sure you create a sample with enough variety of universities, industries, along with others. You would be able to make a great decision just by looking at around 160 CVs, meaning 1/3 of the options. Act according to your values. You were recently fired, and you're quickly consuming your small savings. You have bills to pay and a family to support. Suddenly, you are lucky enough to receive 2 job offers. One, a very similar job to the one you had, with a salary that just allows your family to get by. And the other, with a salary twice as big, which would definitely help you with the incredible debt you have accumulated. There is a slight inconvenience. In that big salary job, you need to evict people from a property they stopped making the mortgage payments. Regardless of the reason, you need to execute the eviction. You know you are a very sensitive person, and that the experience of seeing how people are thrown away to the street every day will affect you emotionally in the long run. What do? Do you go for the average salary job? The one that will not allow your family to get out of the poor economic situation you're in? Or go for the great salary job, the job that will make you have trouble falling asleep at night? See, sometimes the logical decision, meaning a decision without taking the emotional reasons into account, is obvious. Going for the job with the highest salary is the way to go. But hold on for a second. The well-being cannot always be measured that easily. If a decision is not aligned to your values and principles, it may not be the right decision, and it could have a significant negative impact in your future. Stick to your decisions. Are you one of those people who changes its mind almost immediately after deciding? This may be exactly the reason your decisions fail. A person who owns his or her decisions usually feels accountable for the good or bad results this decision may cause, and therefore they do everything in their hands to make their decision work. Rebecca decided to leave her corporate job to create her own company. When she's creating the business plan, she starts doubting herself and wondering if she made the right decision. Days go by and she doubts even more. The opening day comes, and by that time, she's convinced she made the wrong decision. Because of this fear and anxiety, she makes very expensive mistakes, and she decides it is time to close her business before she keeps losing more money, and she gets back to being an employee. Sometimes decisions work because you decide to make them work. If you are hesitant about everything you do in life, you will never succeed in anything. Many successful people are successful because they have no other choice. They know that whatever the situation they're in, they are responsible to make it work. It doesn't matter if you decide to become a lawyer, a doctor, or the owner of your own business, as long as you commit 100% of yourself to your decision. Owning your decisions is the difference between those who succeed and those who don't. Be careful who you take advice from. Lots of people love getting advice from everyone before making an important decision. They feel that by doing this, they're making an informed and objective decision, especially since they're getting advice from people with an external, more objective point of view. But this can be very dangerous. See, we all human beings are never 100% objective about anything, and all the advice we give is biased according to our experience and beliefs. If you ask someone who had a terrible marriage experience what their view of marriage is, this person will most likely have a very negative opinion about it, versus someone who is happily married and lives a very fulfilled life. Before asking anyone for advice about anything, evaluate if that person has achieved what you want to achieve, if they have enough knowledge on that specific topic, or if they may have a biased opinion. Remember, it is always better not to get any advice than getting bad advice. Analyze your past great decisions. We all have made great decisions in the past. Your ability to make great decisions is already there. You just need to identify and analyze the pattern you followed to make those decisions. To identify and analyze those patterns, ask yourself, what was my mood when I made that decision? Was I calm? Was it an impulsive decision? What were the most important aspects I considered making that decision? Did I get any advice? What advice did I listen to? What advice did I ignore? Is this a similar situation? By making these questions to yourself, you can create the path to always make great decisions. Listing. Creating lists is a great exercise to help you evaluate your decision from different perspectives. All you have to do is 5 different lists. Name the first list Disruptive Decisions and write down the decisions that only someone extremely different from you would take. Name the second list Objective Facts, meaning no emotional thinking is allowed, and write objective possible outcomes of that decision. Third list has to be named Positive Outcomes. Make sure you only list positive things that could result from that decision. Fourth list, Negative Outcomes. Only take down possible negative outcomes. And last but not least, Emotional Facts. Write down a list of the emotions that decision will bring you. After you finish writing those 5 lists, you will have a broader view of the situation. Now, what list should you follow the advice from? The list that has the highest weight in your distant future well-being. If right now going to college makes you feel overwhelmed and nervous, but in the long run it will have a positive impact in your well-being, then that is the advice you should listen to the most. If after this exercise your decision is still not clear yet, you can always ask yourself, what would your future self never forgive you for? Believe me, this question will never lead you to a bad decision. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.